The morning of December 1st, 1948, dawned like any other on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. The sun began to rise, casting a golden hue over the tranquil waters and the soft, untouched sand. Beachgoers strolled along the sand, enjoying the sunshine and the gentle lapping of waves. Families played. Children laughed, and couples walked hand in hand, savoring the peaceful morning. But that tranquility was shattered by a chilling discovery. A group of early risers stumbled upon something that would haunt them forever. A man's lifeless body lay slumped against the seawall. His presence was stark and unsettling against the serene backdrop of the beach. He was impeccably dressed in a suit and tie, as if ready for a business meeting. The contrast between his formal attire and the casual beach setting was jarring. Yet something about the scene felt terribly wrong. The beachgoers couldn't shake the feeling that this was no ordinary death. The police were immediately summoned. The sense of urgency was palpable as they rushed to the scene. They arrived to find the man still positioned as he was when first discovered. The scene was eerily undisturbed, as if time had frozen. He lay on his back, his head resting against the seawall. The position seemed almost deliberate, adding to the mystery. His legs were extended and his feet crossed at the ankles. It was a pose that suggested a final moment of peace, yet the reality was far from it. In his pockets they found a used bus ticket and a few cigarettes, but nothing to identify him. No wallet, no ID, just these mundane items. The man's face was unmarked, his expression serene as if asleep. It was a hauntingly peaceful visage that belied the mystery of his death, but this was no peaceful slumber. The stillness of his body contrasted sharply with the life that had once animated it. This man was dead, and his story was about to become one of the most baffling mysteries in history. The questions surrounding his identity and cause of death would puzzle investigators and captivate the public for decades to come. The unknown man's appearance was striking. He was in his early to mid-40s, well-built and athletic. His hands and fingernails were meticulously cared for, suggesting a man accustomed to manual labor or perhaps a musician. He was dressed for a warm day despite the cool weather, wearing a brown suit, a knitted tie and a white shirt. All the labels on his clothing had been meticulously removed, deepening the enigma surrounding his identity. Days turned into weeks, and the investigation yielded few clues. Fingerprints taken from the body matched no records. Dental records proved equally fruitless. The man seemed to have materialized from thin air, leaving no trace of his past. Newspapers dubbed him the Somerton Man, a moniker that underscored the profound mystery surrounding his identity. The autopsy of the Somerton Man only deepened the mystery. The pathologist found no signs of violence or struggle. The man's heart was healthy and there was no evidence of drowning. However, several internal organs, including his spleen and liver, were congested with blood. This suggested poisoning, but toxicology tests were inconclusive. Whatever substance had killed him, if any, left no detectable trace. The pathologist's final verdict was open-ended. The cause of death was listed as unascertained, a frustrating conclusion for investigators eager for answers. The Somerton Man's body was embalmed and buried in Adelaide's West Terrace Cemetery. A plaster cast was made of his face, preserving his enigmatic features for posterity. The case grew cold, but the mystery lingered, fueled by these strange circumstances and the lack of a definitive cause of death. Months later, a tiny scrap of paper was discovered tucked away in a hidden pocket of the Somerton Man's trousers. It bore the words Tamám Shud, Persian for the end or finished. The paper, it turned out, had been torn from a rare copy of a collection of Persian poetry. The discovery sent a jolt through the investigation, hinting at a possible motive or message.
The police launched a public appeal to locate the missing book. Astonishingly, a man came forward with a copy of claiming to have found it discarded in his car on the night the Somerton Man was last seen alive. On the back of the book, faint indentations revealed a series of seemingly random letters, a possible code that investigators hoped might unlock the secret of the dead man's identity.
Section 5. Codes and Ciphers. The coded message in the back of an old book ignited the imaginations of both professional and amateur codebreakers around the world, sparking a frenzy of activity and curiosity. The seemingly random sequence of letters arranged meticulously in 5 lines, tantalized and frustrated in equal measure, presenting a puzzle that seemed almost impossible to solve. Cryptanalysts from the Australian Navy and various intelligence agencies, including some of the best minds in the field, attempted to crack the code, but their efforts proved fruitless. Was it a cipher, a substitution code, or something else entirely? The possibilities seemed endless, and each theory led to more questions. The code's resistance to decryption fueled speculation that the Somerton Man might have been a spy or involved in espionage, adding a layer of intrigue to the already mysterious case. The Cold War was in its early stages, and the idea of a secret agent dying under mysterious circumstances on Australian soil was not entirely far-fetched. It was a time of heightened tension and secrecy. However, no concrete evidence emerged to support this theory, leaving investigators and the public alike grasping at straws. The code, like the man himself, remained an enigma, guarding its secrets stubbornly and continuing to baffle and intrigue those who dared to delve into its mysteries. Section 6. The woman in the photograph. Among the most intriguing clues in the Somerton Man case was a small piece of paper found tucked inside the pocket of his trousers. This tiny fragment of paper held a significant clue. It contained the phone number of a local woman named Jessica Thompson. When questioned by police, Jessica claimed to not recognize the Somerton Man from his photograph.
I don't know this man. I've never seen him before.
However, witnesses reported seeing a man matching his description speaking with a woman resembling Jessica near the beach on the night of his death. When shown a plaster cast of the Somerton Man's face, Jessica's reaction was even more curious. She reportedly became visibly distressed, her hands trembling as she reached out to touch the cold, lifeless features. Despite her denials, many believed that Jessica knew more than she was letting on. Was she romantically involved with the Somerton Man? Did they share a secret past that she was trying to hide? Was she somehow implicated in his death? Or was she simply an innocent bystander caught in a web of intrigue? Her connection to the case, tantalizingly close yet frustratingly opaque, only added to the mystery. The truth about Jessica Thompson and her link to the Somerton Man remains one of the most puzzling aspects of this enduring enigma. Section 7. False Trail. The Boxall Lead. Years later, a new lead emerged, seemingly out of nowhere. A woman came forward claiming that her father, a man named Alfred Boxall, had known the Somerton Man. She presented a photograph of Boxall standing next to a young girl. The girl was wearing a distinctive knitted coat, strikingly similar to a garment the Somerton Man had been seen wearing. Could this be the breakthrough investigators had been waiting for? Excitement over the Boxall lead quickly faded when DNA testing proved inconclusive. Samples taken from hairs found on the Somerton Man's clothing did not match DNA profiles obtained from Boxall's descendants. The lead went cold, leaving investigators no closer to uncovering the Somerton Man's true identity or the circumstances surrounding his death. The case once again seemed destined to remain unsolved. Section 8. Secrets and Whispers. Despite the passage of time, the Somerton Man case continued to generate speculation and intrigue. Amateur sleuths pored over the evidence, proposing countless theories, from Cold War espionage to unrequited love. The mystery even inspired works of fiction and documentaries, cementing its place in popular culture.
In a surprising turn of events, Jessica Thompson's daughter, Kate, came forward in 2013 with a startling claim. I was just a toddler at the time of the Somerton Man's death, but my mother confessed to knowing the man's true identity. She also admitted to being involved in espionage, a revelation that, if true, could rewrite the entire narrative of the case.
Section 9. The DNA Trail. The advent of advanced DNA technology offered renewed hope for finally solving the Somerton Man mystery. In 2019, authorities exhumed the Somerton Man's remains from his grave in Adelaide. Their goal to extract viable DNA samples that could be compared to international databases and potentially identify the man or his relatives. The exhumation was met with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. Some feared that disturbing the man's resting place after so many years would be disrespectful, while others hoped it would finally bring closure to one of Australia's most enduring mysteries. The DNA analysis is ongoing, and the results are eagerly awaited by investigators, amateur sleuths, and a public captivated by the enigma of the Somerton Man. Section 10. The enigma endures. The Somerton Man case remains one of the most perplexing, unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. The strange circumstances, the lack of a definitive identification, and the tantalizing clues have captivated the public imagination for decades. The case is a stark reminder that even in an age of advanced technology and forensic science, some secrets refuse to be revealed. Whether the ongoing DNA analysis will finally crack the code of the Somerton Man's identity remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the mystery of the man found dead on that peaceful Australian beach will continue to intrigue and fascinate for generations to come. He has become an enigma, a symbol of the unknown and a testament to the enduring power of a good mystery.